We're rolling Thursday edition of the Sports Cage. How are you doing out there in radio, streaming, YouTube land? You can consume the show a number of different ways. We thank you for doing that today. Colson's going to be on the board. Sharky's going to be with me in a moment. And we got 3 hours for you on the show. How about Thursday for Access Communications? We do a little Darian Durant double talk with doubles. He's going to talk to us in about 15 minutes because he wasn't on Friday. He was sick. So we'll talk, or Monday, sorry. We'll talk to Darian. SJHL Report's coming up from the commissioner of the SJHL, who's in a snowy Swift Current, Saskatchewan. The storm that's rolling through the southwest today, not good. Arash Madani's in hour 2. We're going to have the NASCAR Report, Glen Suitor in hour 3, and the Senior Hockey Report, talking league finals and talking provincials with the Monday Nooner guys. That is the show for Access Communications. Sharky is back. It's back-to-back days of Sharky back-to-back for Flooring Superstore. Give him a plug.
Yeah, Park Street. Cash carry prices, great installers, fantastic work. Really appreciate them. Whatever you need, hardwood, carpet, lino, go see them. They'll hook you up. Good stuff.
I asked Trent Dickin a while ago something about flooring, and he said, people really don't do that anymore. And I was like, oh, I can't remember what it was. And I was like, okay, well, I'm glad I asked you about it. And he goes, I can get it and sell it for you. He goes, just letting you know. People don't really do that anymore. And I'm like, okay. No,
what were you trying to get?
I got it, I don't know, it was about a month ago. So brain cells since then have come and gone.
Depleted.
Yeah. Flooring Superstore, Park Street. 936-6262. Excuse me. Prairie Land Rentals text line, 600 Albert Street. Deal with the owner. If you're in and around that southwest, you could have used a Husqvarna snow thrower.
You could have.
Today.
Still might.
Yeah, you still might. Text us if there's anything on the roads, because I know for a fact the highway was closed for most of the day in and around Swift Current.
Yeah.
Semis, stranded, buses, Winnebagos, vehicles. So let us know. Anything that I was looking at the radar and trying to find out the path that this storm is taking. It kind of went south of Regina.
Yeah, it missed us, I think.
Where we are. Oh, it's hammer time right now, south of Brandon into the United States border. That's where it's going, all the way into Fargo. So if you're cruising anywhere near there, heads up. And then this Calgary one, the one that's coming from in and around Calgary, it looks like it's going to hit Swift. It's going to hit Leader, Abbey, Scepter. It looks like you're going to hit into there.
Pre-late. Success.
Yes. So yeah, you can let us know if we can pass anything on to the listeners. 936-6262. Regina Pats win last night. Playoff chase in the Western Hockey League is on, and the Pats now, I think their magic number is into around 1.5.
Yeah, something like that. It's a half. Somebody's got to lose half a game.
1.5. They had Moose Jaw is back at it tomorrow as well. Last night, Moose Jaw, a big shootout win in Swifty, 4-3. So Moose Jaw sitting with 53 points, tied with the Red Deer Rebels. The Rebs do have a game in hand.
But it's tight.
And it looks like the Regina Pats are going to make the playoffs in the 7th spot.
It does. You know, they've done what they've had to do. They haven't blown anybody away, but they've done what they had to do. They're winning the games they're supposed to win, that they need to win. And they're playing teams tough, like except for Medicine Hat, who seems to have their number.
But who could be the first round matchup, which is the trouble part?
It could be the first round matchup. So the other thing, it could be PA, and they got them at home Saturday night. So that'd be a good watch. And they've played PA really strong all year. I like the way they played PA.
Yeah, that is correct. You know what? If you're listening to the show early today, heck, let's do it.
What are we doing?
I got 2 tickets in my hand for the game Saturday night against the Prince Albert Raiders under the Orange Top Brand Center, 6 p.m. face-off. 936-6262. If you haven't won anything on CKRM in the last 30 days, we will take caller 1.5. Figure that out, Coulson.
Hey, and they've started working on the new bar and everything over there. Yes,
I saw that. They're digging.
They're digging. I don't know what
trenching.
I don't know what they're putting out there, but
sure. What is that called? The vac thing.
The hydrovac.
Hydrovac. Yeah. I just learned. I learned in the last year what a hydrovac actually does. I had no idea.
They're actually pretty cool.
They are.
They are pretty cool.
I think I could do that job for a little bit.
Yeah, for the day.
Yeah, I just like the guy that texted in, was it a couple days ago, telling me that city boy, I wouldn't be able to survive on a ranch or a farm. And I was like, yeah, no, you're right. Quite aware.
Not arguing.
You're not making me feel bad, just so you know.
Not arguing with you.
I know my lane. So that's coming along. You haven't seen inside, have you?
No, it's been I've heard the drawings and the conceptual work is outstanding. It's going to be something special.
So if people don't know what we're talking about the new bar, entertainment center, concert hall.
So it's going to be a combination. Like there's going to be like 4 or 5 venues within the venue.
Oh.
So one of them is going to be
like a hot tub room,
like a House of Blues.
Yes, that's the one that
That's the entertainment center.
Yeah.
There's going to be like a steakhouse. There's going to be a sports bar to it. There's going to be just a get a drink and wings and go to the game sort of space. So they're thinking a lot of things through. They really are.
So when I was walking into the last Pats game and I saw that, and I said, you know what is going to be really cool? This thing will be an absolute buzzsaw for Grey Cup.
Grey Cup's going to be nuts. Next year, like if he gets it open for the start of the Rider season.
Is that the plan?
I don't know how fast they're going to get it done.
Yeah. And then, with the aging infrastructure, just anywhere, it doesn't matter. Like, this isn't a shot at the city or real. You start doing things, you start retrofitting and going in, and all of a sudden, like, oh, we didn't realize we have to replace every single pipe in here. They're from the 30s and they're made of cardboard.
So that building would be the 70s?
What was the Ag X?
No, that was the Agribition building. The Ag X was the orange one behind the Brandt Center.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the Agribition building. I'm sure that's what it was.
70s, you think?
I think so.
Yeah, no, it's...
it was before the 80s, for sure.
It'll be very interesting when it's done. I think it's going to be really cool when there's events on. And it's probably going to bring more events. And this concert hall, like maybe that's where a guy can go for a date night and watch a little Gowan when he rolls into town. Charlie Major.
I think it's going to be a great hall, great facility. They're going to attract different acts. They're probably going to have a different price point than maybe lots of people are wanting or expecting. But if you're at a concert with 1,000 guests and the act is maybe a little more than $40 a ticket, you're going to have a great experience.
We're not getting many acts these days for $40 a ticket.
Exactly, that's the point.
You're getting the Rainbow Hunting Boys.
Yeah.
That play, the Confederation Inn in Saskatoon.
Yeah, that's not what
for $40 a ticket.
That's not what you want.
Or whoever the band that sets up at Pump Jacks Cathedral, which they have great music, by the way, on the weekends.
They do.
It's the Pump Jacks Cathedral in Regina on Albert and 13th is turning into a sneaky little venue.
Great spot. It's a great spot. It's been a great spot since it reopened as the Cathedral Social Hall. Pump Jacks has taken it over and taken another level up. The chicken, the homemade chicken breast wings. Oh my God! If you go for nothing, go for those chicken breasts.
Chicken fingers.
Chicken tenders or whatever
chicken finger. Man, they could be the best chicken fingers I've ever eaten in my life.
They were so good. Yeah, so good. And little music. Beer's always cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's a really good spot.
We're getting absolute sidetracked here. So that is okay.
Pretty standard for us, isn't it?
That is okay. How about the matchup tomorrow night? I got more to talk about tomorrow. I'm by my lonesome. But now we got Canada, USA, and hardball.
Yeah.
6 p.m.
Yeah.
World Baseball Classic.
Throw it overhand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to be a heck of a game.
We have to win that. Like, come on.
I think you got to.
The stars got to align, don't we? Align. So then now we can say, hey, you over there that was chirping us about that hockey thing. How's your national pastime doing? First off, the Italian guy.
Are they a wagon? Holy smokes!
The guy that's from the States that said, "Thank you, U.S."
Yeah, and they took Mexico out behind the woodshed and gave him a beating. Like, nobody saw that coming. They figured Mexico was going to take him down, and watched that, and I was like, not only they beat him, they destroyed him.
Chased
him around the park.
I don't even want to hack up his name, but here he is. Colson's got the clip of him.
Unbelievable, huh? You're welcome, USA. We were thinking of you guys over at your hotel. We were thinking of you guys, so I'm glad you guys could join us in the party.
So when you get back to your phone, Vinny,
that's good.
What's that text message going to say from Bobby Witt Jr.?
I'm hoping he's got a room key for me at his hotel. That's what I'm hoping for.
That seems strange.
I know. I'm like, wait a dick.
People could read that the wrong way. Yeah. No, but it'll be really good tomorrow night, 6:00. Canada and the USA. A lot to get to on the show. 936-6262. Want you to participate.
It's because they're teammates in Kansas City, by the way.
Okay. When we get back, we are going to talk to Darian Durant. It's a Sports Cage. Stay tuned. That's right, Campbell Safety Consulting. I know a lot of companies using those guys for a number of different things now. There he is, my guy. It's been a minute, as the kids say. Doubles, nice to see ya.
You as well. It definitely has been a minute.
Yeah.
Nice socks hat. Like that. Yeah.
Thank you.
What's the deal? Are you a socks guy?
I like the hat. I need a nice, solid black and white hat, and it's the best one out. So I'm pretty sure this is why is one of the number one sellers, because of the color. So not because of the team.
You look good in that SJHL hat that Barney's got on, though. That would
little sports cage.
That's sweet.
Hat.
That's sweet there. Nice.
We got to get you one down. Hey, I got to out of the gate here. I got to ask you, man. This NFL free agents and guys going here, but the Max Crosby and to Baltimore, and then they say nope, not passing the physical. Although a number of doctors looked at it, and then he's back with Oakland. What do you make of all this?
You know, I think Baltimore just realized they made a mistake. I think, from a team that rarely makes blockbuster trades like this, they don't typically give up first-round picks. To give up two for a guy who's still on crutches, may not ever return to the guy he was once before. I think they slept on it and just figured, you know what, we'd rather go with Trey Hendrickson, a guy who has no injured past. Even though he played as much due to his contract issues, he's still a very productive player, and you get to keep your first round picks. I mean, Baltimore has historically drafted very, very well, and I think that, like I say, slept on it. They said, you know what, we gave way too much for Max Crosby, a hurt Max Crosby at that, and they just had buyer's remorse.
Is that the angle that teams can take, though? That they can use the medical to say, no, we're not, we're canceling the trade? Can they actually use that?
This is the first time I've heard of that happening, and but I think it's so funny with this free agency period that's in the NFL, where you can start talking to guys and you can agree on a contract, but you can't put ink to paper yet. So I think that because of this little window, it gave Baltimore an opportunity to say, you know what, we may not have liked what we saw with the doctor visits and with the MRIs and things like that, or we may realize we made a mistake and we need to, try to fix this as quickly as possible before Max does sign this contract. So regardless of the fact, they took advantage of that little window and that little got in there where the doctors could come in and make a decision, and they got their picks back, and they ended up getting a pretty productive defensive end as well.
Yeah. So do you think, because I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of everybody here. So now I think more so than they're talking about, I think there's a chance that Las Vegas is just going to say, Tom Brady's going to roll into the room and be like, hey, we're sorry. This hasn't worked really well. We're making some moves here. We got the first round pick. We're going to be better.
Yeah.
We want you here. Do you think they can reconcile this?
I think so. I mean, look, it's tough to give up 2 first-round picks. I don't care who you are. And if Baltimore, or another team was to throw something like that at the Raiders again, I'm not sure if they pass it up. But, now that, Baltimore's doctors have seen him, and if there's word around the league that he may not be as healthy as they think he is, then they're not going to get as much compensation for him. So they now have to make sure they make the best out of the situation and put him on the field. I wonder what their salary cap is going to look like, with all the guys that they've signed so far in free agency or have agreed to sign. They've dished out some big money on defense, even though they're not paying a quarterback, and I'm sure that's what takes up most of the cap. They do have a quarterback coming in Mendoza, probably, who's going to be on a rookie deal. So they'll have some money, and but for the most part, they have to make up with Max Crosby, especially if no other team is willing to throw 2 first-round picks out there.
What is the NHL salary or the NFL salary cap? What is the number?
Oh man, that's a good question. I don't know right offhand. I know it goes up each and every year. I'm thinking it's around 160, 170. I'm not sure. Don't let me.
Because what is Miami paying Tua not to play? Aren't they paying him like $40 million not to play there?
Yeah, they are. and I guess you could do that when, they cut Tyreek Hill as well. That's one of their big money guys. They traded Minka Fitzpatrick to the Jets. So they cleared out some cap space in order to take care of Tua and also to bring in Malik Willis.
I would have been off too on the number. Colson's got it.
What do you got, Colson?
So it hasn't been set yet, but they're projecting between 301.2 and 305.7 million.
Is an annual salary cap per team?
Correct.
Oh,
that's nuts. So Max Crosby, they'll be like, okay, Max, we can pay you. Come on, man. Like, we're making these moves. We have some guys around you now. Like, let's go. And now we have a quarterback. So I think they'll make up.
That's $9.8 billion for all the teams together, by the way.
The Raiders have $52 million in dead cap money this year as well. So I want one more thing on the NFL here, and I want to go back to the combine because we haven't talked in a while. And then I was like, I'd be curious to get Double's take on that. Last week, or when the combine was on, when everyone was in Indy, and there was such a big thing made on arm length, which totally makes sense when you're defensive line, offensive guard, rush end, whatever you want arm length. It'll help you if it works. What's your take on? I'm sure you're of the school that if you got big long arms and you're good at your craft, that's a bonus. And then the other part to that is when it comes to the 40 and the bench press and the jump and all that, are any of those absolutely useless when you athletes kind of get into a room?
Well, I'll start with the arms. I think arms are a big deal, especially for a defensive lineman, and I think we're all talking about from Miami, who is a projected first-round pick but has like 30.5-inch arms, and that's just unheard of for a defensive end, especially one that you're looking at drafting in the first round and looking for some early production out of. So I think it's a problem. I mean, he's shown on film that he can show flashes of domination and get out there and play and make plays at a high level. But I just think, look, you're playing against the best of the best in the NFL, and these tackles are so big and strong. And if they're able to get their hands on you first because of their arms, then you're going to be in trouble. So, I still think he'll get a first-round look because he was so productive, but I definitely think he'll slide a little bit because, I mean, when you're drafting that early in the first round, you're looking for a franchise-changing player, and I'm not sure he can be that. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, he makes the best of it, but we'll see. And then with the bench press and all the drills at the combine, I think they're overrated for sure, especially the 40. I mean, so many people put such emphasis on the 40-yard dash. And I mean, look, the only guys that come out of a 3-point stance are linemen. So when you see DBs and wide receivers and running back skill position guys who normally are in a 2-point stance, or DBs for that matter who backpedal, then what value do you have off of a guy starting at a 3-point stance and being able to run a fast 40? You want to know if he can play ball, what's his burst like. So I put more emphasis on the short shuttles, some of the broad jumps, the verts, things like that, where you see how explosive a guy is. If a guy can be in a standstill, how quickly can he move? So I would put more emphasis on some of the quickness drills more so than just a straight line 40, because like I said, no one starts in a 3-point stance except for linemen.
Even in the CFL to NFL, if you were in charge and you could add element,
when you're in charge,
what would you add to maybe get eyeballs, to get a look at players? Is there any kind of physical measuring stick?
Yeah, and I don't think they'll ever do this, but I think the CFL does it a little bit, and it's one-on-ones. I mean, look, this is a football draft. This is a football combine, so you want to see guys play football. And, I mean, for them to go out there in their shirts and shorts and just run around, is going to be in peak condition. Everyone is going to be fast. I just don't think you get a good sense of, what type of football player you have. So I want to see more drills, but there's just so much at stake in the NFL. Guys are not going to risk getting hurt doing one-on-ones or guys holding you or tugging on you. You're looking at soft tissue issues with hamstrings and groins and things like that. So I don't think they'll do it, but I'm more so of a film. I want to see what you do with the pads on. Can you run fast with, 10 to 15 pounds worth of equipment on? What type of burst do you have in that matter? So that's what I like to see.
I have a question on this arm length thing. How do they measure this? Like, how do they figure out that wingspan? Where do they start from? Where do they end? What is that?
I think they go from armpit to fingertip. So they start right here on your armpit, and then they, go all the way out to your fingertips.
And so what are they looking for? Like 35, 36?
33 and a half,
and above.
I think. Yeah, 33 and above is...
We're going to need a tape measure in here.
Golden. Well, you're not...
I think I got some wingspan.
The game's passed you by, bud. It doesn't matter at this point. You're not making a comeback?
What's going on?
It's just gonna make you go, what if? What if? Hey, it was a while ago. Your boy Luke was on the show, and we were chatting, and we had a great old time. And we talked about, was it Norm? Who used to always get the boys loading up on Toonie Tuesday and eating, because it was around when the report cards came out, and food and the ride they're eating good nowadays. And I was like, I wonder, Darian, back in the day, because I would suspect your diet was pretty on point. Maybe I'm wrong, but when you look back, do you go, man, there's some guys that ate bad?
Including myself. I mean, look, I came into the league. I mean, early when I was in college, of course, they took care of you. We had training table. They had everything laid out from, your green light foods to your yellow to your red, which is foods you shouldn't eat. So, coming into the CFL, now you're on your own, right? Now I'm making minimum wage. You have to convert that back to U.S. dollars, so I'm not seeing a lot of money. So a Toonie Tuesday or a McDonald's or a Burger King or something like that it's just the cheapest meal. So guys had to survive any way you could. Nowadays, like you said, these guys are just in so much luxury now. And this happened, towards the end of my career in Saskatchewan, when we start having chefs and meals prep for you, breakfast and lunch. And, they made sure that nutrition was more of a thing. But, man, when I first came to the CFL, there was no way guys just had horrible diets. Now, if you had the money, you could go and get some good food, or you wanted to cook or do something like that. Most of us didn't even know how to cook. So, we did struggle with nutrition early on. Thankfully, we all, we worked out so much. We always had the fluids and things of that nature. But, I mean, my diet wasn't the best early on either. So I'm with Luke 100% on that.
What would have been in your fridge on Child Ave there if we would have went into Darian's fridge back in the day? What would have been in there?
Well, by then I was making a little money, so it was a little bit better, right? I could afford a good steak and eggs, or some broccoli, things like that. But before then, when I was on Parliament on the South Side, now I'm right there by Dairy Queen. I'm right there by McDonald's. All these all these bags bad, good restaurants. So my first 2 years, I don't even want to talk about it. It was bad.
And then he talked about there was times where they would go to Winnipeg, and I think I was on the way back, they would have to bus. And the Fort Garry Hotel in Winnipeg would always be missing pillows because guys would be on that bus. Did you ever snag a pillow by chance from there? And then maybe the other? No?
I was a rookie at the time, so I didn't know that trick, but I did take washcloths and towels. I made sure I did that. So, but something, everybody had a bag of something. Trust me, like that was our opportunity for the year to get some linen. So we were all for it.
Is there one road trip, maybe when you're on a milk run too, and you guys had to fly, and is there one that stands out in your early days in the CFL that was maybe a horror?
Oh man, yeah, it was my first trip to Toronto, and we had to, on the way back, we couldn't leave after the game because there are no flights coming into Regina. So then when we wake up at 5 a.m, we now have to fly to Edmonton first, and then back to Regina. So I'm just like, wow, like is this what traveling is going to be like? That was crazy. It's like a 4.5-hour flight all the way to Edmonton. We've been to Calgary a couple times. It's bad going to Calgary too, but at least it's a shorter flight. I mean, it's a little bit better airport in my opinion, but man, going all the way up to Edmonton and then back down to Regina, oh man, it was bad.
So you're saying the league's come a long way on nutrition, travel, services, everything else they're doing for the guys?
You know what? I could just smile. I feel like I played a big role in that, especially in Saskatchewan with the facilities, the success we had during my era. It just opened up the doors, guys. The private planes, the charter flights, everything that they get, man. Just happy to be a part of the change and the shift of culture, and allow the guys to enjoy this type of life.
Oh yeah, man.
It was rough.
After banging bodies, you got to get up that early
and get on a commercial flight.
Imagine if you're like
on a commercial flight,
6'4", 300-pound lineman or something.
And
see, this is what would happen.
Some guy.
So sometimes you would have, because it was commercial, you just have regular people on there, and they would have all the middle seats because when the team booked the flight, they would book all the aisles and windows. So if anyone else had to get on the flight, they had middle seats. So as soon as a veteran had someone in their middle seat, they just whistle and snap. Hey, rookie, come sit here. Let's switch seats. You're going to 4.5-hour flight, man. There's no way a veteran was going to sit beside someone in the middle. So that was kind of like some rookie hazing at the same time.
Now, I'm going to tell you a story. You might have a similar one. So years ago, Glen Suitor took the 4 5s out of the deck of cards as Pulley and Aldag were playing crib from Toronto to Regina on a commercial flight. And all they did was scream the whole time, "I can't get a cut." And Suitor's got the 5s. Now, do you have some of those experiences on the plane?
No, I didn't get too involved with that, but I could only imagine with those guys, getting to know those guys over time, just the frustration. I can sense the frustration, and I know Suitor is just sitting there just laughing so hard inside. I could just picture that. That's amazing.
Okay, I don't know when the next time we're going to be able to chat again, if maybe do a Monday show here, but while I have you on here, and we are sitting in March, and I'm going to pull it up right now on sportselect.com. Maybe this could be our sprinkle of the day, even with a little Darian Durant, because I know we've talked gambling, and you had your guy there that I still want to visit someday. But back to the NFL, with everything that's going on in that, who would Darian Durant have his eyes on in March as a maybe future bet to win the Super Bowl?
Oh, wow. Man, that's tough. You know what? I'm going to start with Baltimore, and I just feel like, and I'll go with them first, and then I'll go with Buffalo second. And I'll start with Baltimore because of Lamar Jackson. He's the only guy to win an MVP and not win a Super Bowl. So I feel like he's getting up there. He's about 29, 30 years old. I kind of remember when I was entering that age and hadn't had a Grey Cup, and the pressure and all that came with it. And you can see Baltimore making these moves, trying to get some defense in there to help them. So I'll go with Baltimore first, and then I go with Buffalo and this new team and Josh Allen and the expectations of the fans and them adding more to the receiving core. I think they're building up and they're putting the right pieces in place to make a run. And if you ask me, Josh Allen was right there last year. I think they should have beat Denver if he would have taken care of the ball. We know that. But, I think they've gotten better. And I like Joe Brady as a coach. I think he's a great OC. We'll see how he is as a head coach. But I like Buffalo as well. So I'm going to my 1A and 1B will be Baltimore and Buffalo.
So they're tied 3-4. They're paying they're paying 10. The Bills, and then you see there, if you're watching the stream, the Rams and the Seahawks are both the favorite at 8.25. And then just for you know what and giggles, if you go to the Grey Cup, guess Sharky, you guess who do you think the front runner is to win the Grey Cup?
It's the Riders.
No, it isn't.
Really?
No, if you go to the Grey Cup,
I'm thinking BC.
Montreal, Darian, followed by BC, followed by the Riders. So if you got an extra little bit of cash, maybe with a student loan or farming in the tax season, you can go hammer the Riders right now in Sports Select at 6. So, not bad value.
Yeah.
Man, you're a smart man. You know to get in early. I see that. Huh?
Hey, yeah, I got some interesting NHL ones coming up, Darian. It's always fun. I'm glad we had a chance to do this on Thursday. Absolutely. And hopefully I'll be back on a Monday soon and we'll be able to chat again, buddy.
Sounds good. Thank you. It was fun. Take care.
Right on. There he is. Double talk with Darian Durant on a Thursday for Campbell Safety Consulting. You got problems in the workplace or you need someone to come speak to your crew? Campbell Safety Consulting. Let's take a break here. We'll come right back. It is a Sports Cage streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com. Yeah, it's good to sit down with him, whether you got kids, if you're married, just want to sit down. Chad Reach and his team can figure it out. There he is joining us today. Benny's on holidays. The commish, Kyle McIntyre from a snowy Swift Current.
Yes. It's the only place where winter does not make sense.
Is that the sign on the edge of town, Kyle? Winter does
That's where life makes sense, right? And then whenever something doesn't go someone's way in Swift Current, they always say, "Oh, of course, that's where life makes sense."
I know because Swift Current couldn't get here to play, I think it was 2 games today, the U15 girls and the U15 boys. So things are being rescheduling and they're juggling things around. Have they opened up the highway? Do you know? Has it gotten any better out there?
So I was on the blower twice today at 8 o'clock in the morning for about an hour, and then I went out at noon again. And at noon, we're pretty close to the golf course and to the overpass. There had to be 45 semis lined up on the overpass because the highway was closed. And so I think it's slowly getting better. Like it's clear right now and it's melting, but there's still a huge volume of snow. Like there must be 3 feet of snow at least.
Yeah, that's and then you get the blowing and all that. But knowing the Southwest, she could all be gone by tomorrow afternoon.
Later tonight,
Next Tuesday or Wednesday, it's 16 degrees in the banana belt.
The banana, get the wrenches out, start swinging them. Hey, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here, and if I read things correctly, this Battleford in Kindersley game tonight for Kindersley is massive.
Well, you know what? It's big for Battleford too, Barney.
Oh yeah.
So really, the only positions that have been determined in our leagues in terms of playoffs right now are first, and that's going to be the Bombers. And then we got 6th. Like Melford is firmly entrenched in 6th. Melville is fairly secure in 7th. And then we got 4 teams that are going for between 2nd and 5th. So Yorkton, right now they're in 2nd, but yeah, if they don't have a good weekend against Melville, they might not finish in 2nd. Nipawin is going for 2nd. Battleford's going for 2nd. Like it is, Weyburn is going for 2nd. It's absolutely insane. And so Kindersley has 2 games against Battleford. Estevan has 2 games against Weyburn, and Melville and Yorkton have 2 games against one another. And then Nipawin plays Melford for its final game. So it's going to be up in the air right until the last game of the season. 336 games. We're almost determining nothing because of the parity in the league this year.
How happy does that make you?
Well, it makes me very happy. It's not very good for the blood pressure or the hearts of our coaches or some of our fans. But from a league's perspective, we have seen parity like we have never seen before. We always say there's lots of parity in the SJHL, but really this year, it's been exceptional.
Speaking of that, you got two teams that are having a tough year, though, Warman and Larange, right? They fell behind. How are they doing, though, otherwise? They're good otherwise? I know Larange has gone through a coaching change.
The attendance, Sharky, has been very good. So Larange, as people may or may not know, moved into the JRMCC arena on the Larange Indian Band Reserve this year. It's a beautiful facility. The community has been very welcoming. I went up to a game on Friday night, last Friday, and Bob Beattie, of course, is in for Kevin Kaminsky, who's on a bit of a leave. So thinking about Kevin. But probably their largest crowd of the year, almost 700 people, and nice. A ritual that existed when Bob coached in 2009, 2011. He won the league championships. Fans used to throw burbot on the ice after goals. And so I bet on Friday night, it was 75 game. There was 25 burbot thrown on the ice at various times. So I think they're turning the corner positively there. I'm not sure kind of what the long-term prognosis for Kevin is, unfortunately, and I can't really speak to that. But I know they got a good young team up there. They got good fan support. They're in a beautiful facility that has a great dressing room. So I think they're on the upward trend. Warman has been a real success story this season, other than in the win column, but they did do a lot better than any Notre Dame team has done in the last 4 or 5 years. So the record is better. The points are better. Their attendance has been outstanding. They're probably averaging about 780 fans per game. The in-game experience has been tremendous. They also have a young team. They're going to be in our SaskTel game of the month on Friday, where they're going to play another young team, Humboldt, who's still in the hunt for the 8th and final playoff spot. So that's going to be a good opportunity to showcase Warman and showcase two of our young teams that are going to have a bright future next year.
Love that.
I wanted to ask you while we get you today, and I appreciate you doing this against the SJHL Report. The commish, Kyle McIntyre, is with us for Chad Reach, Senior Wealth Advisor, GP Financial. I was talking to some gentlemen the other day, and they were saying, I think the SJHL is going to go a little bit younger. They're going to pull a lot of these third-year midget or U18 kids because they can play. And some of them are playing well. I think a lot of people are pointing at Cash Lanigan and what he's doing in Yorkton. And then maybe it is a couple of years in the SJ, and then the WHL, maybe there's a year or a couple of years in that. Just as hockey people and shooting the breeze around the rink, could you see that? Are we seeing that maybe a little bit more, Commish?
I don't know. You know what, Barney? I would say this. Like hockey development for kids is like no kid develops in a linear pathway. Mm-hmm. It's very different. Every kid is very individualistic. It's very different for every single kid. Like, Cash Lanigan, he's coming to Yorkton. He's one of our Rookie of the Year finalists. He's had a tremendous year. He plays a different game. He's a hard-nosed 200-foot guy who can put the puck in the net. And for him, this year development will be good for him because it may give him the opportunity to play in the Western Hockey League, but he may stay in the SJHL too. I don't know, like the WCDM, we are a developmental league, the Western Canadian Development Model. We do have kids who have been placed by Western League teams in our league, like Finn Warner, goalie that was placed by Everett up in Flin Flon. He is absolutely outstanding. Ethan Dundas, who is playing in Warman right now, kid from Regina. He's featured in our SaskTel Player of the Month and our SaskTel Game of the Month. He's had a good year. He's developing nicely with the Wolverines. So it really depends. I don't think there's going to be a mass exodus of kids out of the 18U AAA league because you look at that league, it's outstanding, and so I think it's really gonna depend on the depth of a team or what a team needs, maybe the age of a roster on a team. Maybe in terms of what's best for a player's development, like if you've played 2 years in the AAA league and you're not getting any better, maybe the next step for you is to play at a higher league, whether it's the Western League or whether it's the SJHL. Or maybe you're a late bloomer and you're a kid who maybe played 15 UA in Saskatoon or Regina and you're a late bloomer. And so then you've played maybe as a 16 or 17-year-old in the 18U league, maybe you don't make the jump to the SJHL till you're 18. Like it, I don't think there's any kind of a pattern that you can point your finger at and say this is the way it is. Like the thing that I would say, Barney and Sharky, you guys know, you've been around hockey. Like why are we so interested in forcing kids' development? Like, let a kid play at the level that he can play at, boy or girl. Let him have success. Let him get confidence, and then they can take that into the next level, right? Like, I hate when you take a kid up at a young age and then they're sitting in the stands eating popcorn. Like the part of the WCDM, like, you cannot do that. You can't trade an underage kid. You have to play him a certain amount of minutes and games. And I think that's good. And my advice to parents, don't force your kids' development. Let your son or daughter play at whatever level they're going to play at, where they're going to gain confidence and experience success. That is the best thing for future development, is confidence and success at the lower level.
Tuesday night
Can we
game.
record this and blast this out regularly? Like that
It won't matter, Sharky. People don't listen.
It should be preached from the mountaintop. Yeah,
Man.
I know it's easy. It's easy to say on one
And
point,
Barney,
and then
you
the other
are
point there's
in
some.
that circumstance right now. You're
in the middle
that
of it. Yeah.
circumstance.
Oh yeah.
And
Don't.
Sharky and I will hunt you down if you're one of those parents.
those parents are still out there. Love them. Yeah, I ruined
my
more
one,
kids'
Sharky.
careers. Yeah, ruined them.
I told my boy, I said, you're playing senior hockey next year in leader. 75 a game, sticks.
Sticks and gas.
Let's pull up the power rankings while we got you here.
Are these Benny's power rankings?
Yeah, it's sportscage.com is where you can find them. How about that number 3 seed Melfort Mustangs? We always knew Blevs wasn't going anywhere.
You know what? Like, and the thing was, Trevor and I had lots of conversations this year around Christmas time when he was coaching the World Junior A Challenge team, where he won a silver medal for Team West. And, you know, he and Rick Oakes, his head of player personnel, they were confident in this roster. But to Trevor's credit, he sat down all his veteran players. He said, you know what, guys, like, is there anywhere you want to go? What should we do here? He got some input from his players. His own players were confident. They were playing the right way and doing the right things. They were just not getting bounces. And so they wanted to keep the band together and give it one last crack. And so they made very few moves on the trade deadline. All the veterans stayed in place. And the one thing I'd say about Trevor the last few years that I've spent lots of time around that team, they have a real positive culture and a real good team chemistry.
Yeah.
And so those kids really, they stuck together like a band of brothers, and they've gone on a run. Like, I mean, they're on about a 12-game heater. Like, it's incredible. They're still playing the same way, but they're getting some bounces and they're playing with more confidence and they're playing as a team.
And it's like everybody's going to be like, we do not want to play.
Nobody wants to play them. Like
Melfort,
Flin Flon doesn't want to play them. Weyburn doesn't want to play them. Battleford doesn't want to play them. The only team that wants to play them is Nipawin, and Nipawin has beat them 6 of 7.
Oh.
So if that matchup happens, like there will be a message sent one way or the other in the game between Melfort and Nipawin that's coming up here. Because if they're going to play each other in the first round, that's going to be one heck of a battle. And Nipawin has Melfort's number.
Well, there you go. That's who you want then.
And it's a short hour drive, under an hour
Yeah.
It'd be
between
great
those.
for fans. It'd really be good for both the franchises. It's like Melville Yorkton. You know, like I'm sure Yorkton doesn't want to play Melville.
Yeah.
But that would be absolutely tremendous for both those communities. Like the way that both of them support their teams, and you know how both those communities are intermingled. Like, it'll be tremendous for fans, and probably average 1,500-1,600 a game. Like, it'll be great for those two franchises.
Oh, okay. Commish, go fire up the snowblower again. Go help some of those semi-drivers. Take them some warm soup.
Yeah.
Some blankets.
I'll get right on that.
Hey, I like that lid, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a nice
That's
lid.
nice. So this is actually, I'll take it off and you'll see my bad salad. So this is UPL. They're our playoff sponsor.
Yeah.
And we're giving these out to the UPL playoff performer of the night. So throughout the playoffs, every game we will choose one top performer from all the franchises, and we'll give that to one of those players. And also, if we have a UPL overtime challenge in playoffs, and with the parity this year, we're thinking that we're probably going to have a few playoff games that go into overtime. the first person who correctly guesses the overtime goal score will get one of these hats as well.
There you go. Good idea,
A
Commissioner.
little more gambling. Love it.
Thanks for
You guys
hopping
got
on
any
today.
hats left?
Oh, yeah, we're going to give one away here right away.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
And,
Those are great looking lids.
you're not in town Saturday?
I'm in town next Tuesday, Wednesday.
No, are you in Swift on Saturday?
Oh, Swift and Saturday, yes. I'm going to be in Warman on Friday for our game of the month and some meetings. And then what time's your game? 2:00?
2 something, yeah. So maybe,
Okay, well, I
maybe
might
pick
be
me
there.
up.
I might
Maybe
come by and
pick
see
me
you.
up. Let's go have lunch at Wong's. I'll buy you a dry rib.
Okay, if I'm back in time, I will do that.
See you, buddy. Appreciate
care.
you.
Okay, take care, guys.
See you
Thanks.
there he is, Commissioner of the SJHL, Kyle McIntyre. Join us right now, 936-6262, 306 area code. You call if you haven't won anything in the last 30 days and you want one of these SportsCage SJHL hats.
They're beauties.
There's like 2 left, maybe
That it?
3. Oh, man. They're
a tickle.
a hot commodity. Call right now.
Guys,
will
word
give
up at the Patsies
you got to
team.
be able to pick it up here, have someone to pick it up here. We don't ship these bad boys. It was for Chad Reach, Senior Wealth Advisor, GP Financial. Your employee plan might not be right for you. You might want to sit down with Chad and his team, GP Financial. .ca. We'll be right back. It is a SportsCage streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com. We have hockey in the SJHL tonight. A big one out in Kindersley. Clippers are home to the Battleford Stars. U18 AAA boys playoffs postponed. Moose Jaw, Saskatoon. That game, too, has been postponed. There's also other postponements of games. Check your local schedules. At the Paralympic Games in Italy, Kipling's Gilbert Dash and his Canada's wheelchair curling team, they're now 8-0. They beat South Korea 6-3 today. They beat the Americans 7-3. Take a seat, 8-0. National Hockey League, Canadian teams in action. Toronto home to Anaheim. Calgary's in New Jersey. Eric Francis was sleeping off a bender. Edmonton's at Dallas. Winnipeg home to the Rangers. The Jets need those 2 points. And Vancouver, if anyone cares, home to the Nashville Predators. SportsCage.com poll today. Which WHL team do you think is least likely to qualify for the playoffs? Vote at SportsCage.com. For Reliance Heath, get $200 cash back with your new water heater. Some conditions apply. Call on Reliance. Hour 2 will start with Arash Madani. We are back after the news. That is right. However you're listening or watching us today, thanks for making some time. If you're in the Southwest, be careful driving in and around there. Roads closed, not good. If you missed hour 1, we talked to the commissioner of the SJHL who's in Swift Current. Said, or what did he say? Around 40 semis he can see.
Yeah, 45
backed up.
semis or something. Yeah.
They got walloped.
Yeah.
In the Southwest. Hour 2 coming up here. It is for Access Communications, and Sharky is with me for Flooring Superstore on Park Street. Over 20 years in business.
Go see the boys. They'll help you out. Make the house look good.
One thing I wanted to mention before we get going here with Arash, we have another 2 tickets to give away to the Pats game on Saturday.
We're cleaning out the ticket drawer.
That's basically what's happening.
We're cleaning
out of the tickle drawer. If you want to go watch the Pats and the high-flying Prince Albert Raiders, 6 p.m. Saturday. Colson is standing by, 936-6262, the phone number, or we can pick up the tab at 1-866-767-0620. We do have Arash standing by. We got Clutch Performer coming up. Maybe try to get Sprinkle of the Day and the NASCAR Report, Senior Hockey, and Glen Suitor in hour number 3. Let's get it going with our friend from down east.
It's time to go coast to coast with Arash Madani for Smart Investing Solutions. Be smart with your money. Call Brian Gawley at Smart Investing Solutions, 546-2533.
It would be a lot better if it was the gold medal game or the championship game in this World Baseball Classic. But it's still a playoff game. The loser will go home. Loser leaves town match, as we like to call it. Yes, it's Canada, the USA. Canada has finally advanced for the first time ever, Arash, at the World Baseball Classic.
It's pretty cool. I won't lie. I was watching that yesterday. Cal Quantrill gets the ball. You know, we talked about this the other day, Barney. Like, Cal was terrific, but his dad's the pitching coach, and 2 generations of Quantrells in the most pivotal game that Canada's played in a while. They do it together. And then James Paxton, like, you talk about dudes who are locked in on the mound. Here he is, and they had to take him out after 49 pitches, but he was as dialed in as it gets. And so here's a baseball program that has been through it over the years, and everybody wondered kind of if all the stars aligned and everybody played what if. And now they are the number 1 seed going into the quarterfinal. And for guys like Ernie Witt, the manager, who's been connected to Canadian baseball forever, Greg Hamilton, who's run Canada baseball in the high performance forever, for the 2 of them to be on the bench and the camera pan to them right after, and they, like, 2 unemotional guys, 2 stoic guys, to break into a smile and hug. I mean, that doesn't really happen. You could tell how much that meant to them.
What does Ernie Wood have for a pro job? Like, what does he do?
He's retired. He's retired.
Yeah.
And every 3 years, Sharky, he commits to being the skipper for Team Canada. So it was funny. Yeah.
Ernie figured it out. Ernie figured it out.
Like, if you look at that coaching staff, Justin Morneau, former AL MVP, who's made over $100 million in his career. Justin does some TV work in Minnesota, where he now lives. But he donates his time to come back to the program. Russ Martin, God bless him, who made $80 million in his career, has 4 kids at home. He's from Montreal, but now lives in Arizona. 4 kids at home. He donates his time to the program, and he also helps out some of the junior national team players on the development side. Donates his time. I was bugging Tim Leeper yesterday because Leap had been the third base coach the last couple of years, or last couple of World Baseball Classics and Olympic qualifiers. Leeper's now with the New York Mets. I think he's the third base coach of the Mets. And I said, well, you leave and look what happens.
You're the problem.
You're the problem. And he said, I just texted Larry Walker and I said, we're never going to be welcome back to Team Canada ever again. So, like, everybody feels part of this, which is really cool.
Very cool. Too. Very cool.
Canada, USA. Let's go tomorrow night. I think it's 6 o'clock our time. It starts. The spot in the semifinals is up for grabs. What do we know about this game tomorrow then?
Well, we're going up against the greatest USA team ever assembled. So that's the first thing. Like, there's no holes in this lineup.
How did Italy beat
Italy found some.
Italy found some. Here's the thing about baseball, guys. Baseball is 162. So the last place team in baseball still wins 50, 60, 65 games a year. It happens. So now it's just got to happen again, and everybody's not in mid-season form or anything like that. In a one-game do or die, it's not a best of 7. It's not a series. Yeah. You just got to go. You just got to go do it. Now, I don't know if they've announced their starter. I'm assuming it's going to be Mike Soroka, Calgary guy. Pitched for Atlanta for a while, just one injury after another, and he's bounced around a couple of teams. But Soroka can give them some length. But it's just one of these things now where it's just lightning in a bottle, and you just try and ride this wave as long as you can. It's pretty cool. It
is. Very cool. A lot of fun to watch.
I'll tell you one other thing, and I sent this to Colson. I don't know if you have the video, Colson. It's of the Naylor brothers. So, like, Josh Naylor is now the captain of this team. His younger brother, Bo, is the catcher on this team. 2 dudes from Mississauga. And afterwards, there they are. Just there, for those watching on the stream, there had to be about, 150, 200 Canadian fans, and they're looking for their family. They're looking for their friends. Where are they? Like, when they leave here, it's back to regularly scheduled business at spring training. It's their job, their pros, etc. But, like, this is the closest thing to being a kid again. This is the closest thing to being with the buddies that you came up with in under 17s and under 19s. And now you're doing it as an adult. And now you're doing it with a Canada on your chest. And now some people that came up with you along the way or in the stands. I just think it's such a cool thing. And there's nothing better than representing your country, and there's nothing better than winning when you're representing your country.
That's true.
The baseball talk going because the Blue Jays are doing the spring training thing, but interesting scratch on their roster.
So Tuesday night, Canada played Puerto Rico. The plan for Puerto Rico was to start Jose Barrios, who a year ago at this time, the Jays had just announced was going to be their opening day starter for last year. Well, Barrios, it got a little murky, and then they said Barrios can't come because insurance won't pay for him to come. And that drew some alarm bells because the only reason he wouldn't be cleared is if there's a pre-existing issue. So then the Blue Jays put him into an MRI to see what was going on, and they found some inflammation in the elbow. Now, Barrios is saying, he had inflammation in the other elbow last year. Barrios is saying, I don't feel this. It's not an issue to me. And John Schneider's point was, it hadn't even come up all the spring. And if not for the WBC, nobody would even know about it. But now that we do know about it, what are we going to do? Are we going to back him off? Or, what are we going to do to figure things out? Barrios is going to have to be a big part of this rotation. He's a guy making over $20 million this year. So it's funny what happens when insurance and money and other things get involved, but maybe by accident, they've just found out that something with one of their key starting pitchers isn't quite right.
Yeah. What a weird story that the insurance company comes up with the reason that you can't play baseball.
Well, because, Sharky, if he gets injured, if he gets hurt, they're on the hook for $20 million US. So what is the insurance company going to put him through to make sure that he's not cleared to play?
The rider on that's pretty big on that insurance bill.
Yeah, the deductible something right there.
Lloyd's of London. Right. Hey, speaking of MRIs, NFL, we talked to Darian Durant about this in hour one. I love it. I love it because it's so crazy. It's and you watch the social media stuff and everything that went on and what happened last year. If people don't know, the Raiders sat him down. They were like, no, we were going to eventually move you. So we don't want you to play. And he was kind of pissed about it because even though they stunk and then they move him, traded 2 first-round Baltimore, 2 first-round picks, everything is good, goes to Baltimore, then they rescind the trade because of a failed physical. We don't hear about this happening that often.
So it's not a failed physical. Okay, there's
nothing. You can use that card. That's the beauty of it.
So there was nothing the Ravens knew that they didn't know before. Except that Trey Hendrickson, all of a sudden, his price was known. And wait a minute, we can get a guy for around the same production, around the same age, for around the same amount of money, and we don't have to give up 2 first-round picks for him, and we don't have to wait for the injury to heal? To me, this is buyer's remorse all over it. And then the excuse to do it is to say failed physical. And you have to be really careful if you're a pro sports franchise when you pull a stunt like this. And I think you look at it and you say, okay, the end justifies the means because it's 2 first-round picks and they're very valuable. But the minute you start doing stuff like this, agents and top-end players are like, do I really want to do business with them? Do I really trust them? Do I really want to, the next time there might be a trade opportunity with another team.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know if I'm going to go down the road with Baltimore because I know they can screw me at any time. So it's a very, very slippery slope. And Eric DeCosta's got to do a few mea culpas, not just to Raiders management, but to some other people along the way.
because he's basically dropped the value of Crosby, right? Like he's dropped his value by saying he failed his physical, right? Like the Raiders can't do anything else with him.
Well, they can, but they're
losing.
Now you're 40 cents on the dollar.
That's right.
Well, and it's hard now because, teams have basically spent their money. So you're up against the cap, and that. Look, to me, Max Crosby returns to the Raiders. Everyone's going to do an awkward, hey, Max. Apparently he was in the facility today working out. And this time next year, Max Crosby will be on the trading block again. But I think it's too late at this point, and the price tag remains too high, too rich for anybody else's blood, too.
I see. Part of me thinks, though, and I don't know the Raiders that well and everything. They've signed. It's around the draft. Maybe something could happen around the draft. Or he starts the year, comes out gangbusters. Now, the Raiders probably still ain't going to win many games. They ain't coming out of that division.
No.
Then you have, some I guess, clout.
Some value.
Value is the word I'm looking for, yeah. But
Barney, I hear you, though, but the issue is this. The issue is his cap hit this year is almost $36 million. So who's got the room?
That's what I was going to say, yeah. Like, I don't... Tennessee?
Yeah.
Have fun.
And what are they going to send back to make the cap room? Yeah.
Right.
But the other thing of it all, like, you got the Tom Brady effect. And I think Tom can get into a room and say, hey, listen, Mac, they screwed up. It wasn't me, it was them. It's not you, it's them. They feel bad. We want you here. Do you want to be, can we? And then everyone's going to listen to Tommy. Who doesn't listen to Tommy? Besides Giselle.
Like, I don't think, I think Kansas City's toast. Okay? I just think their window's closed. I think they're fooling themselves.
Do you think Kelsey gets moved?
I don't.
Ooh.
Unless he wants to. But what I'm saying is a team like KC, if they're 9-2, 9-3, and they lose somebody on their defensive line, with Mahomes coming back, with Kelsey at his age, with Chris Jones at his age, just where they are as a franchise right now, would they pull the trigger giving up a 1 and a 3? Would that be enough for the Raiders to take a 1 and a 3? I don't know.
So a little like Green Bay grabbing Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Still hurts, by the way.
My friend Google says several teams have the financial flexibility to accommodate Max Crosby's contract, which carries a high salary for the 2026 season. The Washington Commanders currently lead, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Chicago Bears.
Now, are they willing to give up 2 1s?
Well, but do you have to anymore, though? Do you have to? They've kind of... Now, Vegas is just... It's like Kramer and the free coffee. All the coffee you can drink, we'll take it.
What a reference. I think that next off-season, the price tag will be higher than what they can get in season for him.
If he stays healthy.
Yeah.
If he stays healthy.
Yeah. It's a big one.
And his money's guaranteed?
Pretty much. See, Crosby gives you second half of this year and the next 2 years of major production. Then after that, who knows, with the knee and everything else. But he's a window guy that's going to be really impactful.
What else did you like? What else are you curious about everything that's happening in the NFL?
Well, where's Kyler Murray? Like, what I find fascinating is all these quarterbacks who are available, veteran quarterbacks that other teams are paying $35, $36 million their salary, and anybody can get them for 1.3, 1.5. Like, we just saw Geno Smith go to the Jets. We talked about that on Tuesday. Kyler Murray, the idiot Kirk Cousins. I think that's his first name, by the way. The idiot, like all one word.
That's a personal shot.
Yeah,
Kyler Murray's at home playing video games in his basement. He didn't care.
He's going to end up in Minnesota, and we're going to be sitting here in October and November, and you're going to be banging your head against that nice painting behind you.
Nobody's going to touch it.
What about Aaron Rodgers? Does he come back? Is it going to be Pittsburgh?
Call it a career, man.
Isn't Aaron Rodgers in a sweat lodge right now, meeting with his high priestess, trying to figure out what he's going to do?
I don't know which of you will enjoy this more. I saw this today and I nearly fell off my chair. The Seattle Seahawks have won a game more recently. The Seattle Seahawks have won a game more recently than the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yes.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl was the 8th of February. It is a full calendar month after. Now, obviously, there was an Olympic break.
Wow.
But when you go 0-8 or whatever it is on this stretch, it's something in these parts. Let me tell you.
That is great. I haven't seen that. That is awesome. I think I like it more than Sharky.
Well, no, I love it. Okay, so that brings me to the story that has popped up in a couple places about Chris Pronger going to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, I think everybody's just throwing out options of what they are to do.
They're just throwing mud at the wall,
right? Yeah,
yeah.
This is a town where it's so interesting. People care more about the executives in charge than the players. And they're looking for an air quote savior to come in and fix everything. Like, I moved here in 2009, so almost 20 years. First, it was Brian Burke who was going to save the day.
Yeah.
Then it was Mike Babcock who was going to save the day. Then it was Brendan Shanahan who was going to save the day. Now it's whatever this is to save the day. Okay, Chris Pronger. He's going to bring an edge and a toughness, and he worked, for the league and for a team. Man.
I don't know that there's not a short-term fix or an instant solution fix for this Toronto franchise. It's deep and it's ugly.
It's funny.
Well, it's just funny too. Yeah. Like, I don't know if it's in the water. I don't know if it's just rotten in the foundation of the buildings. Like, it's impossible to do. Like, they've been horrific forever. No matter who the management is, no matter who the coaches are, no matter who the captain is, no matter who the goaltender is, they haven't gotten out of the second round of the playoffs in the internet era. Like what are we doing here?
It's crazy, man.
And they're going to have a great seat for the first round this year at home on the couch.
Sure.
In the bar at the golf course.
Oh, Tehran. What was that team that we had yesterday?
The Sarnia
Legionnaires of the Greater Ontario Hockey League went 0-50 this year. No overtime losses either. All regulation losses.
The Leafs should reach out to that
Sharky would
guy.
like a jersey or some sort of memorabilia, some sort of paraphernalia. Yeah. I don't know if you can go take in a game. Well, I guess the season's over now.
You can't.
They're definitely not making the playoffs.
But that
this just
talk to the Leafs. Yeah.
The decision desk. It's like election night. The decision desk.
0-50.
That's incredible.
That's a tough look.
A minus 258 goal differential.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
They need some new scouting staff. They got to find some different bodies.
By the way, some rumors du jour. Remember last year, the Four Nations and the success that it was, et cetera, that the league put on? My understanding is that the World Cup of Hockey is going to return in 2028, not in September, but back in February again, which I'm assuming means no All-Star game. That the World Cup of Hockey World Cup of Hockey will be 8 teams, not 4. 1 division of 4 in Canada, 1 division of 4 overseas, and that Calgary and Edmonton, Calgary with its new rink, will do a joint bid, and Alberta is going to be in the mix to host
Oh, yeah.
Pool play in one run round and then the middle round afterwards. So don't be surprised if you hear something about this soon.
Who's the 8 countries then? They're not going to do that silly Young Guns and Team Europe again, are they?
No, I mean, who are the usual suspects? I'm just guessing now. Sweden, Finland, Czechia.
They bring Russia in?
Slovakia.
Canada, USA, Slovakia. Look, man, maybe Latvia. Maybe
Russia?
Latvia.
Do they let Russia play?
I think the Swiss before Latvia.
Yeah, the Swiss could be in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Latvia.
Now, the one difference with this would be, I'm assuming, because it's the NHL running it, is that would have to be NHL, AHL players. I don't think you could get pros playing in some of the other leagues overseas.
Yeah. Germany.
So
that makes it tough. Germany doesn't have. I don't have enough. Germany's going to run 6 forwards and 3D like a Tuesday night senior game in Q Park.
I mean, what Czechia could do, they could go get that pitcher who threw 4 2/3 scoreless innings against Japan. Get him, leave the electrician business for 2 weeks. Maybe he could be a backup goaltender.
He's wiring a couple of condos.
He's going to be late. Got a safety meeting.
Do you think Iran or Iran? Do you think they'll actually pull out and not play in the World Cup?
Man, I don't know. It's March.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Oh, buddy, it is 3 months away, and it's going to get a lot uglier before it gets nicer. I don't know. I was asking somebody who would have an idea with the craziness happening in the States, with the craziness happening in Mexico over the last month or so. I said, is there any scenario where Canada gets more matches for the World Cup? And effectively, the answer was maybe one. And I'm like, okay, well, explain why.
Yeah.
And, say, like Commonwealth Stadium, for instance, right now it's just Toronto and Vancouver that are going to host. Commonwealth is putting a grass field in for one friendly against Uzbekistan, June 1st, a tune-up match for Canada. And then they're going to put a new turf into Commonwealth. But the answer was basically this. Look, we can't go into any other city because there's so much that goes into it, security, logistics, whatever. Okay. Why can't Toronto or Vancouver do more is because it has to be natural grass. And the grass, you can't just play every single day, 1 or 2 matches a day on grass. You think about it, Olympics, they move in stadiums all over the place. The grass needs, and this was the line they used, time to recover.
I see.
Yeah. So
I agree.
If you follow me on a golf course, you'll understand that. Yeah.
There you go.
It's more in the woods. More in the shrubs. Okay.
Yeah, so we're out of grass stadiums? Is that the reason? We just don't have any natural grass stadiums that would support
There's one, Sharky. Like even BC Place, they're putting in grass just for the World Cup. But you think about it, McMahon's turf, Commonwealth is now going to be a brand new turf. Regina's turf, Winnipeg's turf, like on and on you go. The only grass field is BMO Field in Toronto, which they're going to call Toronto Stadium. But everybody else uses a turf for if you want to do multi-purpose,
you gotta have turf.
We know on days that
and these guys won't play on artificial surfaces. It's taboo.
You can't.
Yeah, we know that's a non-starter.
We know days when Jeffrey in Calgary's not listening because he would have piped up with something about McMahon.
Oh, by the way, Schefter says it's official. Kyler Murray is signing a 1-year deal
with the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh my God!
We need
that video game console for Minnesota.
Can I tell you a story about this on this day in 2009?
Oh yeah,
I was just about to ask.
He was. I talked about this earlier with him
excited.
Today. No, I can't wait. I'm on the edge of my seat.
In 2009, because you met her, Mrs.
I thought it was going to be about this. Yep.
Mrs. S was able to lock down 4 tickets to Michael Jackson's final shows at the O2 Arena in London, England.
Wow.
It was on this day in 2009. It was, 360,000 pre-sale tickets, 33 seats a minute sold. She was able to get 4, and we were so excited, and we were planning it, and we were going with a couple other big fans, and then he went and died.
And then
I was working here. I remember that day. I went back and they said, hey, did you hear? And I was like, what? Like, Michael Jackson died. And I'm like, get out of here. I'm like, no, he did. And I'm like, well, what?
I got tickets.
Yeah, man. That sucked.
Hey,
Did you get
Jeffrey
refund on
Rennerby-
your tickets?
Of course we did. Yeah.
Well, don't say of course these days, the way some of these ticket operators work.
Well, yeah,
Get
2009.
refund on your
too.
flight?
Did Jeffrey Renundy in Calgary, did he track you down?
He did not.
Okay.
He did not.
There was a man in a long leather trench coat, full length,
Waiting outside the arena.
and he just stood outside my hotel the whole
There he
day.
is. Jeffrey.
He's back in.
Yeah, he's
Jeffrey,
there.
where were you, man?
There you are. He's there. He wants some World Cup action at McMahon. All right, bud. Have a good weekend. Great watch tomorrow night. I'm gonna be watching two hockey games. They're gonna have the corner of my eye watching Canada U.S. baseball. We'll regroup Tuesday.
Sorry for your loss in 2009, by the way.
Oh man.
Belated condolences.
What's your favorite Michael Jackson song?
I guess bad.
Bad.
Yeah. Thriller's good too, but yeah.
Yeah.
None of the above.
It's a good list. There's a good list. All right.
All right.
It's Arash. That
Thanks,
is
man.
Coast to Coast with Arash Madani, brought to you by Brian Gawley. Smart investing solutions. Be smart with your money. Call Brian's and his team at 546-2533. What's your favorite Michael Jackson song?
I don't have any.
Oh, I knew you were going to say I'm too
don't
cool.
have any.
I'm too cool for Michael
It's
Jackson.
not that I'm too cool. I just don't. It was not my genre. It was not my thing.
Yeah, he was when you had hair and
Yep.
you were at the club with your tucked in t-shirt dancing.
No.
There was Billie Jean was
I was
playing.
behind the bar. I was slinging drinks.
But you were tapping your foot to a little jam.
I was at Checkers slinging drinks. Yeah, there was no. I wasn't on the.
and then
other side.
some of the slow songs. That one from Free Willy. You were slow dancing out there.
no, I
the
don't even-
Jordache jeans.
I never. First off, no Jordache jeans, no Free Willy,
Buffalo?
no Michael Jackson, no Buffalo, just 501s, just Levi's
There you go. You heard it here. He only wore 501s, ladies.
or Wranglers.
It's a sports cage for Access Communications on 620 CKRM. All right, I will start it. I don't know where you fellas want to go, but mine comes from last night at the Sixer. Rebels Swift Current, Game 3, U18 AAA Female
was-
Hockey League.
I thought it was Weyburn.
Sorry, Weyburn. They're playing Swift Current now.
Thank you.
Rebels 2-0 win over Weyburn. Morgan Robertson, 14 saves. Not a lot of pucks, but she made them all. She had the shutout for the Rebels as now they advance to take on Swift Current. First game Saturday in Swift. Hopefully the roads are better on Saturday.
Way to
heading
go,
west.
Way to go, Coach K. Leger. I like it, brother.
Leggett, yeah. I was like, I just interviewed him yesterday. He said his name's Leggett.
No, that's what he used to get called when he'd be announced at road games.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I could see that.
We have a 2-minute penalty to K. Leger.
You got one?
No, that was it. I was jumping on the Leggett story.
I got a couple to throw out here that are funny ones. So,
Basketball?
couple things I saw on the internet. One of them was basketball. Somebody went to the Utah Jazz Arena to watch the game and goes to connect to the Wi-Fi. And the Wi-Fi network is labeled as Jordan pushed off, which if you're a fan of the NBA,
awesome.
if you're a fan of the NBA from the 90s, you know what happened. And so
That's good.
I guess that admin's not over it yet, which fair enough. So
I played in that rink, and the phone in the locker room was open. So I made a long distance call back home to my lady friend.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Not Mrs. Shynkaruk, I'm taking it?
Oh, it was 1997.
Okay.
Oh, so the year I was born.
Yeah.
There we go. The other one was, I don't know if you guys seen, people are just figuring out that there's a rule in the NHL where basically through series of misadventure or whatever, if there's no refs for the game,
Oh, this is crazy.
then the coaches or managers of the team each elect a player. And then the home team, I think the home player is the referee and the away player is a linesman. And they go with that until refs show up.
Are you kidding me?
And like, forget the emergency backup goalie.
Where did you find this?
Yeah.
A few hockey social medias are just going nuts over it, which fair enough. But like, even people tagged I think it was the Minnesota Wild in it. And so, when they asked the players before practice, which player would do this? They're like, which player would you pick to ref? And so they all started listing their players. But I'm like, even thinking about that, it's like, who do you pick?
Imagine that, Sharky.
Do you remember when the refs went on strike after Jim Schoenfeld went after Don Kaharski and told him to have another donut?
I was pretty young. I kind of...
And they actually had like local senior hockey refs in the NHL game the next night.
Better than a player.
But yeah, that was kind of a black eye on the league at that time.
Oh, it was the same.
Don Kaharski and Jim Schoenfeld.
Same with the NFL when they were having their strike. And I remember the one touchdown catch where the one ref was signaling touchdown and the other was signaling interception. And they had to go to review. And the ref starts it with, the call on the field is confirmed. You're like, which call? You made two.
They're both wrong.
Yeah.
Clutch performers for Kellen Solar in Lumsden, Saskatchewan, local operation. They can do the livestock thing, but if you're looking to save some money with some solar on your house, farm, or cabin, call Kellen Solar. Visit them in Lumsden or online. All right, sprinkle of the day for Sports Select. We kind of talked about this a little bit with Darian Durant. We're there. You can make your picks online now. Scan the QR code and go to your Lotto Spot retailer, and there you go. Bingo, bango, you got it. So tonight, for today's sprinkle of the day, let's pull up the champ. Who's going to win the World Baseball Classic? Now that we know it's kind of down to the 8.
The Americans still got to be one of the favorites.
The Americans their odds are 215. So you can do that, sportselect.com, and go to futures.
Are we putting this on the screen? I need to see this. There we go.
I was getting there.
The U.S. 215.
Sorry, Colson. Sorry to go after.
The Dominicans are 310. The Japanese 475.
How do you have Italy at 1750?
They beat the U.S.
Yeah.
And Canada's 32. Canada's paying decent. If you want to take a stab in the dark, that means $1 would win you 32. And then if you go to like just the futures. Women's World Curling Championships, which is coming up. How about the Academy Awards? You can bet on the futures of the sportselect.com on the Academy Awards. Best Actor.
What do we got? Who's our choices? Not that I've seen
Michael B. Jordan. Timothée Chalamet. Leonardo DiCaprio. Take it easy, ladies.
Yeah.
Best Actress. Jessie Buckley, Rose
Byrne.
Byrne, is that how you say her name?
Byrne, yeah.
Renate Rensve. Sorry, I'm not a movie guy. I'm hacking up these names.
Emma Stone. And Kate Hudson. I'm going.
Kate Hudson, I've heard of.
I'd take Kate Hudson on this one.
26. You want the long shot? Obviously,
I heard a lot about this.
This Jessie Buckley is a bit of a wagon. She's 102.
I had to look that up.
Better than Jessie a rocket Buckley. Wagon. And then look at all the other Academy Awards stuff that you can bet on at sportselect.com. Anyway, go check it out if you want. Sportselect.com. QR code, Lotto Spot retailer. Probably your best way to go about it. All bets are 100% legal. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Cash in hand. Must be 18 plus to play. SportsSelect.com. Okay.
I'm on here. I'm betting like a madman.
I thought you were looking at pictures.
I did.
Somebody.
Now I'm taking her to win. Taking the favorite.
You would. All right. Let's go to break. We'll come back with a little NASCAR report.
Love it.
Read a couple of text messages. And we got 2 more Pat tickets, Colson? Yeah. We got 2 more Pat tickets to give away. 936-6262. If you want to go watch the Pats Saturday night against Prince Albert, now's your time to call if you haven't won anything in the last 30 days. We'll be right back here on the Sports Cage.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the streak is over.
Oh.
Tyler Reddick did not win his 4th consecutive race. Ryan Blaney took the Phoenix race that had 23 lead changes on the day, Blaney's won there before. As a matter of fact, I was there the last time he won the championship race in 2023. Blaney became the NASCAR Cup champion that year. Blaney held off Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, and Ty Gibbs to secure his first of the season. Austin Cindric was the biggest challenger to the leaders and was involved in a wreck at lap 216, and that ended his day. Reddick still leads the overall point standings after finishing 8th on the day. We now move on to Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Pennzoil 400. Mile-and-a-half track sets up well for drivers. There's some consistency here. Hamlin, William Byron, Joey Logano have all won twice in the last 10 races. Kyle Larson has won 3 of the last 10. So there are some guys that race very, very well in Las Vegas. The question now is the team at 2311, but led by Michael Jordan. Are they going to continue their top 10 run? Bubba Wallace, Reddick teammates finished 6th, and Wallace finished 6th in Phoenix. Between the two of them, they have 3 wins and 4 top 10 finishes in the first 4 races. So
is this the Pennzoil 400?
Pennzoil 400 by Jiffy Lube. Presented by Jiffy Lube.
I got the odds pulled up here. SportsSelect.com. You guess who's the favorite?
I'm going to go with Larson.
You're correct.
Yeah.
Followed by George's boy, Christopher Bell.
Christopher Bell, yeah.
Denny Hamlin.
Yeah.
Ryan Blaney.
Ryan's having a great season. Yeah.
Blaney, not Blaney.
Blaney.
Bill Byron.
William Byron, yes. Now, I read somewhere that Byron is not running, that he's not in his car, but I might have that wrong. So
he's in Vegas. He's on a heater.
He's on a heater. Bowman is definitely not driving. So get the vertigo issues. He is not driving the 48.
If you want some real value, take Brad Keselowski.
Yeah,
48
Brad's not
to
having
1.
a great. Yeah, Brad's not having a great year.
Brad's gonna be on the bender in Vegas.
What do they got Kyle Busch at?
47.
Yeah,
that's value there.
Yeah, Kyle's raced. If you can't do win place show on that, but Kyle's raced well in Vegas. It's his home track. He loves it. So if you wanted to take a long shot, Kyle would be your guy.
Hometown guy in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joey Logano does very well there too. He's another guy that's his home track. So but a big race, Vegas Sunday.
Brought to you by Croft Electric. Visit them online. We have them on the show. They get the preferred program on right now. If you need any work done at the cabin this year, the farm, get on it. Call Crofty and his crew, and they'll come out. Do we want to go to break here? Do you want us to kill everybody? Oh, Colson's got something.
Oh.
So I just found something. You remember, I got to make sure my camera's on. There we go.
You run the thing.
Yeah. So Bobby Witt Jr. and Vinny, the Italian guy.
Yep.
So I just learned a little bit about them. So they, again, roommates, they live in the same house together.
We're talking World Baseball Club. We're not talking NASCAR. For people that have just tuned in.
Sorry. Context.
Switch streams. Yeah.
Yeah. So Vinny, the Italian guy, he homered twice in the Mexico game. Who's kind of their star now. But during spring training for the last 2 years, they've been roommates in a house that they call the Ritz-Carlton. They live with a third roommate, Barry, Bobby's dog. They drive a minivan to practice every day, and sometimes Vinny cooks. Came across my feed, and I'm like, man, I'm enjoying these guys.
I have another story similar to that. I think I could tell now. I think the statute of limitations are over. There was a couple guys playing for the Islanders back in the day when they were making their cup run. And until they lost out in the playoffs, they didn't take the empties out of the back of the guy's Suburban as they drove to practice every day and back. And when they finally won the Stanley Cup for the 3rd or 4th time and they emptied out the Suburban, Sarkan, New York did very, very well off the back of that Suburban as they cleaned things up.
I don't think there's a Sarkan in the on the island.
We'll have to look that up. Colson?
I don't know if they're even big into recycling.
I think Sarkan is a Saskatchewan thing.
Okay.
I think the S stands for Saskatchewan.
Sorry.
That's good. Okay. What do we want to go to break, Colson, or do we want to we go to break? Okay. We got Colson saying we got a break. We'll come back. We still got ticker. Let's see if there's anything else.
Those Pats tickets go, that second set?
936-6262.
I didn't get a call in that set, so we're still taking callers for that last set of Pats tickets.
Saturday night. against the Raiders.
936-62-62. Break time. We'll be right back. A lot of cancellations. Hockey tonight in and around, especially if they're coming or going to the west around Swift Current. Lots of snow there, so check it out. Moose Jaw, Saskatoon. They are canceled. AAA Game 2 up in Saskatoon. Blazers lead that series 1-0, waiting for the date when they will reschedule that one. SJ tonight, big one. Kindersley home to the Battleford, 7:30. Kipling's Gilbert Dash, member of Canada's wheelchair curling team at the Paralympics in Italy. They are now 8-0. They beat South Korea and the United States today. They are on a roll. National Hockey League Canadian teams in action. Toronto home to Anaheim, Calgary's at Jersey, Edmonton's at Dallas, Winnipeg home to the New York Rangers, and Vancouver welcomes Nashville. Home of the price match guarantee, Extreme Hockey and Sport. 3 locations: McIntyre Street, the Cooperator Center in Regina, and now the Temple Garden Center in Moose Jaw. They're local. They support local. And if you find a better price, they will match it. I think a lot of people know now who that story was about. Colson, throw your camera on for a second. See how red you are.
I don't have to.
It was a tame break.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
If there was ever a time to do it, that was it. Yeah.
When we were kids and we used to have the big satellites.
Yes.
Oh, man. And then we got the dad finally where you didn't have to go outside and crank it. I've told the story on it before. But we would watch hockey games. And you'd be able to get, MSG Network and all these games. And then Dave Brown, who worked for my dad, and his parents would come over and they'd watch the Flyer games when Dave went to the Flyers, but there was no commercials. So you'd hear these guys and some of the stuff they talked about and the people they talked about. It was really good. But luckily we are good above board humans.
Yes.
Over here.
For the most part.
Wowza.
Kindersley, by the way, has got to win those last 2 games to be in the playoffs. So that's a big one tonight for them against Battleford.
Hour 3. It's going to go down with a little Glen Suitor. If he was listening, he'll be chuckling. We'll talk to Suits. We will have the Senior Hockey Report.
Love it.
With the Monday Nooner guys. And then if you missed it, Darian Durant from Hour 1. Stay tuned. We are back after the news. SportsCage streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com. And on the home of local sports and Hot Mics 620 CKRM. Welcome back. Hour 3. If you've missed any of the show, it's been eventful. It's been a lot
of a beauty.
Fun. You can go back and listen to it in podcast form or watch it on YouTube again. We had Darian Durant in Hour 1. He's going to be back here at the back half of this hour. The SJHL Report with Kyle McIntyre, Arash Madani, NASCAR Report, and a whole lot more. We got some news here. I want to pass this on. Actually, I just saw this. Some curling news from Mike McEwen and the McEwen team. After 3 seasons together, the team has chosen a different path without me next season. Dug deep and gave it everything. Some great runs and results together. And I'll always be grateful for the incredible support from Saskatchewan. I may be getting older, but the fire still very much there. The Rocks don't seem to care. So, some wordsmith. Free agent for next season. That is the post. So Team Mike McEwen will look a little bit different. They got the Colton Flash and then the brothers
twins, Marsh twins.
The brothers Marsh. No relation to Brother Phelps.
Do you think that has anything to do with the last 2 rocks he threw at the Briar?
How did that go again?
One, he didn't make the hog line, or he just made the hog line that he needed to go to the button. And the other one, I think it was a takeout and roll that he completely bamboozled.
Well, it's a team game, right?
It is.
Sometimes you have teammates that you don't trust. So
when you're that guy with the last 2 rocks in your hand,
when you're the guy controlling things,
when you get the board,
you want people to trust you.
You got to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Totally over his head. Let's go to Glen Suitor.
Time now for press coverage with CFL and Saskatchewan Rough Rider legend Glen Suitor on the SportsCage.
Have you guys tried curling? Are you guys curlers? Do you curl?
Yeah, I've done it. Yeah, curled in a league for a couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because a little bit, Barney.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying we were this close to not being with you here.
What happened? Mic's on and the commercial break.
Yep. That guy.
I was listening. In. Hey, gentlemen, I was listening in and I was typing Colson a text, and I was about to push send, but I could hear that you guys weren't doing anything that you would have get calls on or anything. So I didn't push send.
Yeah,
that is the wild thing, man. Because
normally there's something bad happening.
Like run out of town.
Yeah.
Anywho, we're here. We'll all laugh about it at the end of it. What doesn't kill you only doesn't make you stronger. And at the end of the day, everything happens for a reason.
That's the beauty of a hat you got on today, Suits.
Those are nice. I have one of those. Never been worn.
A little bit old school, but I love it. It's awesome. Yeah, and you know what I found out too, Colson, just before we came on, Colson has never done that before. That's the first time ever that the mics have stayed hot. But you guys know, I mean, being in broadcasting, that's the first thing you're told. I mean, I go back to the first day at TSN, I think it was, and it was, if you're around a mic, assume that the entire world is listening to you.
You know what, though? That is such bull crap because it is impossible to do. Downright impossible. You always forget. Yeah. At the start, you might be like, whoa. And then it's just like, you forget. It's human nature.
Totally.
Yeah.
Done it many times and then went, ooh, are they live? Yeah.
It's like trusting the airline to put your luggage on the plane. Yeah.
Why do you got to take a shot at the airline people?
I'm just saying, it's a trust. It's a trust factor
to make yourself feel better.
Yeah, put it on the airline. Hey, I told one of my favorite Glen Suitor stories earlier.
Oh,
where the mic's on?
No, the mic's on. That's what I told to Darian, because he was talking about having to fly commercial flights and everything, and what it was like back in the day. And I said, could you imagine being on the plane with Poley and Aldag when Suitor took the fives out of the deck and they played crib from Toronto to Regina without the whole
That's a great story.
Sharky, the whole way. You know, like I thought about an hour in they would figure it out. You know, but we are, flying over. We're 2 hours in and I'm going, you're kidding me. You guys are you just setting me up here? Like, but I didn't say anything, and I had them in my pocket, my shirt pocket. So, and I kept hearing Poley especially saying, I can't get a hand. I just cannot get a hand today. So I get up, and I'm standing in the aisle, and I show them the 4.5s, and I go, did you guys need these? And I take off. Like, I waited till I was right by the door, and then I just took off, and they were mad at me. Well, Grey Cup 89, I got taped to the goalpost. It was right around my birthday. It was because of that. Poley and Aldag were the leaders of the tape me to the goalpost thing in the Grey Cup in 89, and it was because of that crib game back in Toronto.
That story warms my heart every time I think of it. Yeah, that's a beauty.
It's an all-timer.
Yeah.
It is.
So gentlemen, I was listening in today, and we touched you touched on the Leafs, and I thought it was interesting because of this, I keep hearing athletes talk about the Leafs, and one of the reasons that they are never successful is because of the market they play in, and that there's so much pressure on the athletes because there's so much scrutiny in the media in Toronto. And I mean, I shake my head at it because if you have a pro athlete, and I don't care who it is, and he says that he can't perform because the media scrutiny in your city, you probably need another athlete. You need a different guy.
Yeah,
honestly,
maybe a different job.
Yeah, and maybe a different job. I mean, and making the comparison, it's not the same, obviously, but making the comparison of all the CFL teams, anyone that's put on a Rider jersey certainly understands media scrutiny and, the fan engagement, sometimes good, sometimes they're angry at you, and that's okay. But you have to learn quickly. Darian Durant was one that you guys talked to all the time. Ask him about how he would handle some of the negative, press and some of the times that it wasn't going well, and he had to listen to we had many conversations about how to deal with that and things like that. Not that I had all the answers; it was just a discussion because I had played in Saskatchewan. So in a different way, because the Leafs are huge, but in a different way. And maybe not quite at the same scale, I do know what that means. And it's surprising to me that $1 million pro athletes use that as an excuse. There's too much media scrutiny in Toronto. Come on.
If you're making excuses, you've already lost.
Exactly. You've surrendered.
Yeah.
Your mind has surrendered because
you put it on somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah. You pointed the finger, and that is something so far out of your control. Like, so what? Let them ask your questions. Go and face the media. Sometimes it's not fun, but it doesn't affect your performance. It should never affect your performance.
And you don't. And if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs or Connor McDavid, as he just did with Mark Spector, who asked him a question, right? There's nothing saying you can't shoot back or challenge them or don't answer their question. I don't think that's really relevant. You don't seem that bright. I don't need to answer your question. Right?
Yeah, and Sharky, you don't even have to challenge sometimes. You could just change the subject. I mean, and if you change the subject twice, the guy gets the idea, or the girl, whoever's asking the questions. They get the idea that you're not going there. So you've not left a clip hanging, especially today in social media, that little quote is just hanging out there like a matzo ball. Anyway, it was an interesting discussion, and I keep thinking about the players in Toronto that have said there's too much media scrutiny here, too much pressure, and that's why we don't win. Like, come on.
You wanted to talk about the retirement of Buck Martinez?
Well, I never got a chance to when that happened. What was that, about 3 months ago or so? Whenever he made that decision, 77 years old, so he's been in it a long time, and I just got so much respect for Buck. I remember when, first of all, he's been great at his job, and when you can listen to a color analyst, and I listen to them all in different sports as a work project. To listen how they describe things, how they explain it, how they, their tempo, how they, when they get excited, is it over the top? Where's that sweet spot? All of those things. And Buck seemed to find that sweet spot all the time. But I also learned stuff from him. You don't have to be, even if you're an expert in baseball, you're still watching and you can still learn, from a good analyst. But if you're not an expert and you're not sort of embarrassed by that, there's a real fine line about dumbing it down too far. And you have to be careful with that, because a fan can be offended that, wait a minute, I'm not a dummy here. I know what, a walk means. So, you're not going too far. And Buck was excellent at that. But the story I have is working in Saskatchewan in the off season. And he had come through from Toronto to promote the Blue Jays, and he was going through all the radio stations, all the TV stations, and doing the interviews. And when I got a chance to sit down with him and talk to him, we ended up going out for dinner afterwards, and just great mutual respect. And I got a chance to sit there and sort of pick his brain on how he approached the job that I was relatively new in, because it was years ago. But I wanted to congratulate him, and the way that, they're the competitors, and the way that Sportsnet handled it. I thought it was excellent. It showed great respect for his legacy. So good for Buck.
Nice.
I want, we got a 2.5-ish left here, but I wanted to know, do you watch baseball? Are you going to watch tomorrow night? Isn't it awesome? Canada-US elimination game in baseball?
Yeah.
Well, I am more so now than before I was listening to the show today. Because you guys have talked about it. It was cool. And I was listening to some of the guys and some of the stories, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to check this out. I mean, anytime the maple leaf is worn in any sport, really, I want to take a look at it. So I'll do that. But I don't know a lot about the teams or the players or whatever, but I always love to follow when you got that maple leaf on.
It's going to be good.
Heather on the Prairie Land Rentals text line likes your comments about media scrutiny, so that's good. And then I want to ask you, have you followed the Max Crosby and the Baltimore and being like, no, not today, back away, and now he's back with Las Vegas story?
We didn't say 2 first-rounders. We didn't say
That was whoops. We've gone too far. Wait a minute. Trey Henderson is available. Hang on, we can afford him all of a sudden. Okay, let's pivot here. Let's pivot. You know, this is what I mean. Whenever
Where is the loophole?
Emergency meeting, gentlemen. Emergency meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know, I also heard you earlier today, and I was thinking, I wanted to hear the plus. Not just the lifetime free coffee. I wanted to hear the plus. What was the plus? Come on. You know,
it's the and.
It was the and.
It's the and.
Yeah. I'll give you free coffee for life and. But yeah, you know what? This is what I mean, guys. When I say when it comes to whether it's tampering, legal tampering, illegal tampering, behind closed doors, reneging on a deal. I think the NFLPA's got to probably get involved with this. This doesn't look good on Max Crosby for other teams. I mean, he's going to now people are wondering, I'm sure, in the league, like, well, how hurt is he? Or was this just a complete farce? Or what is it? That's going to probably hurt his stock a little bit. So
I want to see if it becomes more common.
Yeah, well, that's the question, because it'll set a precedent, and then that's why the PA needs to stop it right now and maybe step in and investigate this. But this is what I mean though when I say this issue is not unique to Canadian football. Stuff happens behind closed doors, and I often hear people say, "Oh, it only happens in our league." No, it happens in a lot of leagues. Yeah, including the biggest one in the world.
Happens in them all.
All right, buddy. Watch some baseball tomorrow night. Enjoy it, and then look forward to chatting with you next week.
Yeah.
Okay, gentlemen. Talk to you later.
I'll send you a full deck of cards.
See it. Yeah. Full deck. Colson's. Oh man, so many things I want to say right now.
But you can't because the mic's hot. Right? You know that story of the player and the what's going on with Crosby and Baltimore and everything. You remember Billy Bean when he's on the phone trying to make those deals?
That's such a great movie.
It's so cool. You don't even know who he is. I'm trying to make a deal with you.
And you're the second person that's brought up Moneyball in the last day. It makes me want to watch it this weekend.
I've watched it, I'll bet you 3 times in the last 3 months.
When they're all around the table and all the old guys.
Yes.
It is such a... You can take that and use it for business anywhere. It's like, listen to yourselves. Jason Giambi is not walking through that door. We have to change.
We got to change
how
everything.
We do it.
Yeah.
It's so good. We got to go to break.
What? Are we going to break? Because I had another story.
Maybe we'll have some time on the way back. Or just tell it while the commercial's running. It's a Sports Cage. We'll be right back. If you missed it just moments ago, Mike McEwen, that foursome... McEwen's not back.
He's splitting up
next year, so we'll wait and see where he lands. Postponements in hockey around the province today, especially down in the southwest. We got some SJHL, and we got a big one tonight. It is in Kindersley. Battleford's in town. NHL, Canadian teams. Toronto's home to Anaheim. Calgary's at New Jersey. Edmonton's at Dallas. Winnipeg welcomes the Rangers, and Vancouver home to Nashville. It's for Steelcraft Doors in Regina, made in Western Canada for Western Canadians. Visit them, Steelcraft Doors. You have a story?
I do have a short story. When Suits was talking about learning the craft and understanding how to do broadcasts and what you should do. When I originally started out in this, I was doing play-by-play of senior hockey games in southern Saskatchewan. And I did a game in Radville where there was 3 last names on the whole team. Barassa, Van de Sype, and Larsons. That's all there was. There might have been one other guy, but you called everybody by their first name, because if you called them by the last name, it'd be Barassa to Barassa, back to Barassa, over to Van de Sype, back to Van de Sype. So you had to call them by first names.
Good.
You had to call the Radville Nats by their first names.
Good story. All right, speaking of Senior Hockey Report.
There we go. Nice segue.
Time now for the Saskatchewan Senior Hockey Reports on the Sports Cage. Brought to you by Warren Steinley, MP for Regina Leuven, always on Saskatchewan's side. And Croft Electric. 28 years of trusted, reliable home, farm, and commercial service for all electrical needs. CroftElectric.com and all socials.
Sports Cage, Monday Nooner, Senior Hockey Report. You heard the intro there. Let's go league first off, guys. Some leagues. Belts, Nautica Hockey League. They're down to the 2. They play a 7-game series in this beauty, but you don't think it's going 7?
I don't think it's going 7, Shink. They call it the Nautica, the NHL, for a reason. They have a 7-game series. I think Milestone's sweeping Yellowgrass. We will find out. They play Wednesday night and Friday, I believe. Let's see if Milestone can get this thing done. I think they will.
Big 6 Hockey League. Where are we down to, Brandon, in the Big 6? I think Mooseman somewhere involved.
Yeah, they lost out in a heartbreaker in provincials to Round Lake, but they set their sights on the Big 6 League Trophy banner, which is a tough one to win. And right now they hold a 1-0 series lead over the Redvers Rockets, who are a top 3 team in the province, as per our podcast. I think it's going to be probably a 5-game series, probably a lot of 1-goal games. Game 1 went to overtime, and Carter Sawchuk, his 9th of the playoffs, got the winner. Bud Holloway, who's one of the better senior hockey players in the province, offensively for sure, had 3 primary assists to lead the way for the Mooseman boys. But that, if you're in the Southeast, that's going to be a fantastic series. They're mainly going weeknights right now because of provincial schedules for Redvers, so they don't play again until next Tuesday.
Qu'Appelle Valley Highway Hockey League. It's down to Lumsden and Grenfell. Lumsden's got the edge there. As we recorded this, they were on the ice, so keep tabs with the Monday Nooner. We'll let you know what's going. Good on Grenfell getting to the final against the powerhouse Monarchs. Wicked, give us a quick update on the Long Lake final.
The Foam Lake Flyers are 1 win away from the league title as they're up 2-0 in their series against the Lanigan Pirates. I am predicting Foam Lake sweeps them. And that Game 3 goes next Wednesday, March 18th.
Prairie Men's Hockey League, they're going late. They're going into late March if it goes the distance in 5, but I don't know if it will. It's going to be Cupar Indian Head starting next Wednesday, so a little time there. Quickly into provincials. I think everyone was talking about it, fellas. The scrap, the female scrap in Grenfell in provincials. We got a gross misconduct handed out. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone go up a flight of stairs in senior hockey and there wasn't much of an altercation on the players' part, but correct me if I'm wrong. Have you guys ever seen that?
Have not seen that, Shink.
No, I haven't.
I know where my head went when he was on those metal graded stairs, is his skate blades are going to need some surgery to get back to where you want them, because not good for the old blades.
First thing I thought of too. Hopefully he's getting those sharpened.
Hopefully he's got the new skates where you're going to slide in the blades and slide out, because if it's the old ones, then
I was told that he was up there within seconds of the game ending. Like, all of a sudden the game was over. Everyone was still on the ice, post-game, and within seconds, Things are happening up top.
If you haven't seen the video, follow the Monday Nooner on the socials and you will see them. But provincials, it goes down tomorrow night, Friday, in Cupar. This should be a good one. Milestone Cupar, 8 p.m. That's game 2. Milestone shaded them in game 1. And then we got some big heavy hitters in A action. Foam Lake at Raymore Saturday. Game 2, Foam Lake handled Raymore convincingly in game 1. Does Raymore have a shot at home?
People seem to think they do. I'm thinking Foam Lake's going to end it, but I've had a few people who follow pretty closely thinking Raymore will send it back for game 3. We'll see.
Redvers is in Lumsden. That's Saturday night. That's game 2. Lumsden won the first game. Belts, you're big on Lumsden.
I think it's going to be a good game. I do think Lumsden's going to take this one. It's going to be tight. Winters has been playing really good for Redvers. I am heavy on Lumsden. I think they're going to get her done here this weekend.
If anybody's going to Regina and Shaunavon and back Saturday to Sunday, let me know. I'd love to go watch the Hunter brothers and Shaunavon against our friends from Rosetown in the C final. Game 1 in Shaunavon, Saturday night, 8 p.m. Wicked, how are you handicapping that one, Shaunavon, Rosetown?
I got Shaunavon with this. I'm predicting Shaunavon with the 2-0 sweep. I think this got more talent up front with the Hunter brothers and that Stevenson.
Yeah. And then Macklin Hague up north D, game 2 goes Saturday night. You can find it all. Follow us on the socials, the Monday Nooner, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We got the sheet supplied from Josh Miller. We'll keep you updated on senior hockey as we go. That is your senior hockey report for this week on the Sports Cage, brought to you by Warren Steinley, MP for Regina Louvain, always on Saskatchewan side, and Croft Electric. Visit them at croftelectric.com. It's a Sports Cage and CKRM.